Hello everyone, I am Doodlemans86 and today I am going to do a triple review. So I'm going to be reviewing Godzilla Evolved, Sleeping Godzilla Evolved, and Shimo. So the way I'm going to go is Godzilla, then Shimo, and then Sleeping Godzilla. So let's get this review started by looking at the packages. Taking a look at the packaging, you can see it is the average Funko Pop box. Figure at the bottom left, the background themed after the movie, and so on and so forth. And of course, we see that the Sleeping Godzilla is an Amazon exclusive. And as you can see, the box is bigger too, so that's always nice to see. And of course, we have the marking as well as the figures on the back who you can get, top, and then we have the bottom. So yeah, those are the boxes for you. Starting off, we have Godzilla Evolved. So something interesting to note is that he actually comes with the atomic breath. In the previous figure line for Godzilla vs. Kong, there was a Godzilla that didn't use his atomic breath, and then there was an atomic breath version which came with the accessory. So it seems like this time they're just not going to do that. They're giving you the figure and the atomic breath, which is nice. That means you don't have to buy two figures. You get the accessory with this figure. Bandai. Yeah, we got an atomic breath. We'll look at that in a moment. But first up here, we have a look at the sculpt and paint. So as you can see, he's actually not completely black. He is a dark gray, kind of like a street gray, but then he has a like charcoal dry brushing on the armor plating, the scales, the skin, the spikes, everything. So that's interesting, especially comparing their last Godzilla, which I'll pull out in a moment. So yeah, as you can see, the beautiful pink eyes, and of course we have his nose, his ugly crooked teeth. He needs a dentist. And they painted the mouth and the inside of the tongue. I like how they did the spikes here, how they stick out. That just looks so cool, and I think that's just accurate to the movie. Of course, we have the rows of spikes up here, which also look really nice. Although I will say, his spines look like trees, like the Christmas trees you see. Kind of reminds me of that. But yeah, they do look nice. I think they look great. Of course, we have the spines here. We have the tail spikes, which are really cool. And the nails are painted a glossy black, which is so nice. And he has no tummy anymore. I think they did it pretty well here. He looks fine. Pretty good. Pretty good. And he has a fat tail too. Lots of lines there. So yeah, that is Godzilla Evolved. He looks great. Of course, there's no articulation. So we'll take a look at his accessory right here, which is the atomic breath. So I'll compare it again when we get there. It is the same sculpt as the previous atomic breath. It's just a translucent pink now, which in my opinion looks great. Looks really nice. I like the pink they did. Looks fine. I like it. So let's just compare them here and now. As you can see, they are in similar poses. Tail is curving the same way. Their right foot is both out, That's fine. And of course, this is what I was talking about. There's a lot more greens and browns with this guy, and he looks a lot dirtier, while this guy is just a lot more darker of a gray, which, to be fair, he is a lot darker, a lot more black in GXK. He looks different in each film in terms of color because he's always changing up, especially with the daylight scene. So that's always interesting to see. But I think this is accurate both to each of their movies. So that's really interesting to see. Of course, the evolution has been completed. He's a lot spikier and a lot more pink now. And if we look at the atomic breaths, you can see that they are the same sculpt. It's just that this one's blue, this one's pink. Although I will say the translucency here is better. This one is barely translucent. It just looks kind of shiny. But this one, you can see through it. So, I don't know. That's something to point out. So that was Godzilla Evolved. And of course, we'll take a look at sizes at the end of the video. Here we have Shimo. So, taking the effect part off. Here we take a look at the sculpt and paint. And I think she looks pretty great. The only thing I don't like is that the shards back here aren't spiky, but that's just me wanting to get poked and attacked by my own figures. But we have the inside of the mouth, which is painted, the beautifully looking teeth, which look great, the blue eyes, the scales up top, and the little crown of spikes. I love that so much. And she is ginormous. She is muscular. Look at that. Huge arms with gray nails. You get a lot more of that muscular look back here, and the legs, lots of spikes back here, lots of little scales. I like how they did that. We have the tail spikes, which look cute, and kind of just looks like she has candy sticking out her back. That just kind of looks funny. And she is a shiny white too. Lots of scale and armor plating here. Lots of armor plating all around. It looks great. I like how they did the detail, and the paint is clean. I like how she looks. And if we take a look at the blast effect, it is purple, or at least an indigo. And you see some little shards in the blast, and the actual blast itself has shards forming. So I think that looks really cool. And to put it in, of course, you just put it at the top of her mouth, and there it is. I think she looks great. And of course, I like that they included the little frostbite blast. I love it. She looks amazing. And here we have Sleeping Godzilla. So I was surprised because, like, for example, the previous versus Kong line, the Godzilla versus Kong, there was a Kong with the crane, and that was supposed to be a moment in the movie, but he had scratches on his chest. And if you've seen the movie, the scratches happen after he has the crane. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, this is just some cute little figure they did for fun. But then we saw the actual movie, and then not only does he sleep before he evolves, he sleeps after he evolves in the Roman Colosseum, which was so cool to see. And I just think it is so lovely that we got a figure based off Godzilla sleeping. I love you for that, Funko. I love that. So it is basically the same sculpt as the Godzilla Evolved. Only difference is the position he is in. He is like a cat sleeping. His stubby little cute arms, his fat feet, his tail. I just love the look here. Just so sleeping, and he's smiling too. He's happy to be sleeping. He just looks so cute. This is the best Godzilla figure ever made. Just looks so adorable, and you get that detail. Just looks nice, completely flat. I just love this Godzilla. He has to make my top 10 figure of the list. He's just too beautiful to pass up. So he doesn't have articulation and no accessories. So let's move on to size now. So they're about the same size as your average Funko. Shimo is a little smaller, but that's because of her ginormous size. And as you can see, Godzilla is basically about 4 inches. So yeah, that is the size for you. And we'll get into some size comparisons. Here are some of the other Funko Pops and figures from the wave. And then here we have some of the monster arts. And then yeah, just a higher figure too. Just to give you an idea of how big these guys are. And their prices vary depending on where you're getting them from, like in store or online. Like I went to a store at a mall, and I found Kong and Suko for like $7. Meanwhile, online I had to get Godzilla on Amazon for like $11.99. So yeah, prices vary. Try to get them at the cheapest. And of course, Godzilla Evolved is a little higher, especially considering he's an Amazon exclusive. So that just means you're only going to be able to get him on Amazon. So yeah, of course, prices vary. They're everywhere though, because they are Funko. And yeah, you should be able to find them because they are also on Big Bad Toy Store and eBay. So that being said, are these Funko Pops worth picking up? Definitely, especially the Sleeping Godzilla. If you're not going to get all of them or any of them, I say that at least you should get Sleeping Godzilla because he is definitely worth adding to your collection. This is our first figure of a Godzilla sleeping, so yeah, he is definitely worth picking up. And overall, I'm pretty proud with the sculpt and painting of these guys, and the included accessories are always great. I honestly think they look fine, they look great, and I'm happy to have them, especially Sleeping Godzilla. I highly recommend picking them up, especially the Sleeping Godzilla. If you can't get all of them, at least get him. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.